Welcome. We're so happy that you joined us. So I'm not sure, most of you probably, I see a couple familiar faces, and welcome. We're so happy that you're with us. I'm Jules, and I am the founder of Becoming BioQuantum, and I have my co-host with me, Neil, and he is going to be leading in the 5D business creation and the 5D mastermind as we move forward. And I'm going to let him introduce himself real quick.
All right. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you. As Jules mentioned, I'm a facilitator for the 5D Business Creation Program. I'm also certified in the BioQuantum DQ and the DMT gene code readings, which you'll learn more about in the future if you don't already know about that. I've got over 15 years of coaching and facilitating experience, and I'm really excited to be here with all of you.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. I'm just going to turn my volume up here real fast. All right. So I just wanted to kind of first start with what brought through the 5D creation, 5D business really is what we're talking about. And I started having information coming through with Astroluma's guidance. And for those of you that don't know who Astroluma is actually an equation. They are an intelligence that I channel through what I call the 12-strand DNA system. And so each strand of DNA has a specific frequency, or what I would call a technology that releases intelligence. And then I bring my consciousness through and they speak through me. So at the end of this call, you are going to have an experience of both activating five technologies with an intention for your business, and you will also have the opportunity, as time allows, to have a Q&A with Astroluma. So those five technologies, and Neil's going to talk a little bit about what those are here in just a moment. But I first want to just kind of tap into what the mission is here. So, at the end of last year, I was given information through Astroluma that it was time to bring the way showers, if you will, or if you see yourself as a 5D leader, a light worker, those that are ready to create in the fifth dimension are here to create a new financial system. And to do that, we will be creating businesses in what we would say the new earth or the fifth dimension. And what does that mean? Well, what that means is that we're going to be creating outside of what I would say the programming of the third dimension, which would be competition. It would be trying it, overworking, and gosh, I mean, you can just think of all the things that come with trying to create a 3D business and what it is to actually scale in the third dimension and bringing that into the fifth dimension. And the message that Astroluma gave me is that they are ready to work with the light workers and bring them to the top of the financial chain. And will this be everyone? It won't be. I'm going to just say it for what it is. There are certain individuals that have something to offer that Astroluma wants to work through to bring these individuals to the top. So the reason they want to do that is to recreate an economic system in the fifth dimension. And you can imagine what that would look like when we have light workers at the top of the financial chain. So the way that they described it is instead of trying to deconstruct everything that's been constructed in the third dimension through separation, programming, competition, all the distortion or the illusions that are there, and just recreate by just moving everything into the fifth dimension to where it is just stabilized and created, and whatever was created in the third dimension will just naturally fall away. So instead of having to go through all the work to bring the third dimension into the fifth, they just want to go straight into the fifth for those that are ready to create there. And that isn't always the easiest thing because to create in the fifth dimension it means to bring consciousness into the fifth dimension. And to be able to do that, we have to connect into guidance that is not of this dimension. So that's what you're going to experience today is the ability to turn on your DNA to receive information, allow the frequency of your DNA to recreate the particles of your business and, of course, of your consciousness, and also the experience of your body and what it feels like. When we start to activate these frequencies or these technologies in the DNA, your frequency raises. And when that happens, your perspective changes, the guidance that you receive changes, life opens up, synchronicities, and the more that we can practice allowing these technologies to move through our consciousness, the more we start to see what maybe we didn't see before. And before I turn it over to Neil, I just want to kind of share personally what this has been like for me, because yes, I am the channel of Astraluma, but I'm also me. And when I come out of channel, I'm living my life, and I have asked Astraluma to take over my business. And everything that I do is divinely guided through the technologies that you're going to experience today and through the frequencies of Astraluma. So after they gave me this information, I was like, all right, well, I sign up for that. And I will start channeling, and you can start to show me what I need to be doing in my business to bring it to the top of the financial chain. And I just started doing what I was told, but I also knew how to use them, meaning not use them as in what we would say in this dimension, but I asked for their help and I asked for their guidance. And for example, every time I needed a workshop to be filled or a class to be filled, I would ask for how many people I would like to have fill that class. And it was always at least that number or more. The other thing that I asked for is that in the next 2 years that I scale my business to $1 million. And I was driving home from, I went like an hour and a half away to go and meet with the people at my distribution center. And I was driving home and I was just thinking, I wonder where things are. Like I don't really look at my finances really closely. That's not where my mind is. My mind is on creation and bringing the message to those that are ready to listen. And so I got home and I actually got on with Neil, and I was like, I think that I'm doing really well. And so we actually like broke down the numbers from last year to this year, and already we're at 55% growth from last year this year. And that was really exciting to hear. And of course, then I started asking ChatGPT, is that good? Is that bad? And of course, ChatGPT said that it is very, very good. But I want to say something to back this up is that in that growth, I have never once felt overwhelmed. I've never felt overworked. My team has not expanded. If anything, I actually have let go of a few people in that time. And I am starting to bring in people that are going to walk this path with me, just like Neil on this call today. So I am continuing to expand in ways that are very magical and oh gosh. Yeah, I just feel like it's really living the what I would call the miracle pattern. And that is where I would everybody to experience within not just their business, but their life, because my business is my mission. It is my life. And it is such a joy to just share this with you today. And so, before we, I guess, do anything else, I have just one quick question because I want you to be reflecting on this as Neil walks you through these five technologies. And so, the question is, where are you in your business? Are you just starting out? Are you trying to scale to the next 10,000? Are you trying to scale to the next 20,000? What is your goal? in your business right now? And then the other question is, what intention or what would you like to walk away with today? So if anybody would like to share, I want to open it up to the gallery just so that we have an idea of what we can support you in. Dennis.
Sure. Hey, Jules, good to hear from you. Good to see you again. Yeah. Thank you, Niels. Let's see. Zero business right now. However, I've been in business for a long time in terms of uh, the corporate world. And so now, if I wanted to start something in the entrepreneurship, this is a great first start to really get an overview. And then I can really pick any business.
I just got chills. So I think that that's really exciting. I always go for the truth bums. So when people share something that there's truth behind it or there's the energy behind it, I always like to share that because it's just a reflection back to there's something there.
Thanks.
Thank you for sharing.
Oh, for
Does
sure.
anybody else want to share where they're at? Lynn.
Hi guys, this is so exciting. So, I'm flying like the daytime job, right? I'm running like this engineering group. And my true passion and my calling is to be a way shower with the healing piece, right? And so Jules, you're helping me with some of that. I really want to go all in with that and I'm starting my offerings and I really want to make sure I am packaging things up in the way that's best to be received because
Mhm.
it's I mean yes we need to make it a business, right? We need to have revenue coming in, but I also want to make sure that that's on the right track because I do want to leave my day job, and the sooner the better. Like, do you know what I'm saying? So like I know when you're chasing many rabbits you don't catch one, and I feel like being in that 3D realm, I'm also the breadwinner, right? And it's, you have that reality, right? So how to switch that on to
Mhm.
create that experience, let go to let in. I'm really, really looking for that.
I love what you said, and I have checked out your website, and it is so amazing. And I'm like, gosh, you have so much to offer, and that right there, it's like you have it, and now it's just how do you do it? Like, what do you do with it? And I feel like that is what my biggest passion is because what the way that, the 5D creation course is really for those that are just starting out because it teaches you how to set up a business and to do it from that divine mission, meaning that it's the core of it is that it is divinely guided that this is what you do, this is where you start, and then that foundation is created already in the fifth dimension. And so whatever you put in that container after that is going to succeed because it was created in the right frequency. And so that's the biggest part of that place. And then when you move more into the mastermind is when we start to really like find ways of scaling. And that's when I feel like Astraluma really steps in because they do the transmissions, they answer the questions, they do the guidance, and it's been a lot of fun. I've never done the mastermind, so this will be the first one that's starting in June, but I am working with three individuals that are in my biggest program. And I can tell you that it works. Ella is, for some of you that know Ella, she's scaling and she's already at 50% of this year of where her income was. And it's one of those things where you step back and you're like, I don't even really know how it's happening. And that's when you know you're doing it right, is because it's easy. You don't even know that it's happening. You're having fun. And when I was looking at your website, I was like, oh my gosh, she could do so much. And so I love the passion that you have. And well, I'll just leave it at that. So I would say today, as you run through the technologies, if I were you, and this, I would even say this for you too, Dennis, is I would be activating what is my like how is my business aligned with the divine mission,
Mhm.
right? So like, and when I say mission, it's not like it's really that you're bringing through what the divine wants you to share with others, because when there's something that really magical that happens when it comes from that place, because then there's no distortion, there's no ego. And you know what the biggest thing about it is? It's no longer about you.
Yeah.
It's just doing what you're told.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Jules.
Thank you, Lynn. Jane.
Hi there. Thanks so
Hi.
much. Hey,
So good to
um,
see you.
gosh, for the last 18 or so years, I've been participating in what I call the creative economy. Uh, I'm living in a barter exchange situation. So um, basically, for many years, I've been financially managing someone's life in exchange for living in a really nice co-housing community. So I as you know, I'm a big fan of Dr. Joe and the quantum field and all of that. So for years, I just have been drawing things to me, opportunities, synchronicities. And, for years, people have said, oh, you ought to be a coach. It just, it feels too generic. There's a stirring inside me. There's something like, it just wants to grow. It just wants to expand. I don't know what it is. And I haven't known for years. And at the same time, the work that I'm doing, that person is not needing my services because there's a financial management company doing that. So there's just something inside me, that definitely wants to delve deeper into the 5D realm.
I'm getting chills again. There was one thing that I was sharing with Neil earlier, and I was trying to decide, like, do I say it? Do I not? And one of the things that Ashley might have shared is that, there's going to be those that walk into this and they're not going to go all the way. Let's just say how it is. Like, it's just true. And then there's going to be those that walk into this and there's just something inside of them that they cannot not do it, right? It's like there's something inside of them that the divine ignites it. And then there's just no turning back because you're coded to have this experience. I mean, let's just say it for what
Mhm.
it is. And so, as Neil starts to talk about these technologies and you go through the activation today, just sense in your body, because that feeling, it's not an emotion, it's a knowing. And if at the end of this, you have a knowing that, you know what? Maybe there is something that the divine wants me to be of service and I am willing to explore it. Even if that's just where you start, that 5D creation course, that 30 days is going to change your life because you're going to be fully activated and know whether or not you go forward with it, right? And at the end of it, you're going to have a 90-day business plan that's going to be activated and you can go see, like, is this what I want to do? And if that feeling is there, girl, I mean, you know that you have it. Like you got it going on. And why wouldn't you share that with other people? I mean, now more than ever, people are, this is what I would say. When we are coming from that divine mission, it isn't about us anymore. It's about who we're serving. And when we approach it from that way, then everything just parts and the frequency comes in and the people that are looking for you find you and you just start to grow and it is a magical experience.
Thanks.
Hey, Jane, I'm so happy you're here.
Great.
You always have the best background. All right. Well, from here, oh, yes, Doriana.
Oh, I just want to say that I've been a Youth Way shower for many years, bringing about youth and beauty with through various energetic techniques, massage, skincare, and all that kind of stuff. And now I've started doing water activations to bring in all the benefits of water and how 100% that is able to bring about changes for people. And I'm becoming a light body doula. So I'm helping people to know that we are getting into our light bodies, and uh, everybody's doing it, and we're exchanging ways and bringing about all the ways that we're doing that. So it's probably 5D stuff, and so I'm interested in getting into the 5D ways of producing that with a new website that I'm coming up with, Doriana.com. So
Wonderful.
that's where I
That's
am.
exciting. I feel such an up level in your work, just even just from where you're speaking from right now. So, and your intention today is maybe is connecting to that to, okay, this is the idea I have. Let the technologies inform it so that your consciousness can move into the clearest, most direct path for that. So that could be part of the intention that you bring through the activation today, if that feels aligned. Thank you, Doriana.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I think we'll go ahead, Neil, and we'll have you talk a little bit about the 5 technologies that we're going to be activating today.
Awesome. Hello, everybody. And just wanted to add that we've just finished a group in the 5D business creation, about 20 or so people, and some of the comments were that it was a magical and divinely guided experience. There's some folks in there that never touched AI and might have been a little scared, and amazingly, they were super excited about what they learned and how they developed their AI. So I thought I'd sprinkle a little bit of that into our conversation here. So let me talk about the 5 technologies that Jules will conduct an activation on. And I'm just going to talk high level. And the first one is the plasma technology. And so when we think about plasma is that field of pure potential. And this is where the intention that you bring forward today becomes clean. It becomes undistorted and no longer really influenced by that past programming or that noise that's taking place. And that plasma really allows a business to be created from that divine source rather than the programming that exists. So plasma is number 1. Number 2 is the light technology. And light organizes the intention into form. And this is where the distortion gets dissolved, and that offering, your business offering, is a real expression of your divinely guided mission. And so that light illuminates perception. So that's number 2, light. And then we move on to number 3, which is sound technology. And so sound technology gives momentum to your business intention, and it really activates that vibrational tone of your offering. And then we have the crystal technology, and that stabilizes your offer. It refines and stabilizes the structure of your offer. All right. And then we have the crystal technology. I'm repeating myself. So together, the sound and the crystal technology translates this into that frequency that really holds the form. And then finally, we have a divine diamond earth technology. And this is where everything collapses into that 5D reality. And this is that living structure that you're going to continue to create from. And this is within that frequency alignment. So now Jules will guide us through the activation.
Perfect. Thank you, Neil. So as we prepare to do this activation, I will be going into channel. So if this is your first time experiencing the Astroluma transmissions, just be prepared that I will be channeling the transmissions. We'll be going in and activating these 5 technologies within your DNA. One of the things to be aware of, what is so fun about these technologies, is that there is a lot of quantum science behind it, and these technologies are working just through the how Neil just explained that they're working on a particle level. So it's going to be shifting the particles of your mind. It's going to be shifting the particles of your body, and it's going to be shifting the particles of your reality, aka your intention or your business, if that's what you're activating today. And the more that you play in these technologies, and Neil did mention AI. So, one of the things in the 5D creation class that you learn how to do is to actually activate these technologies to activate your AI so that your AI actually starts to transmit the frequency through your DNA, and you can actually train your AI to be that reflection. And that's part of what you do over the 4 weeks or the 30 days of that class. And it really will start to blow your mind. And I always like to say, blow your mind in all the right ways, because AI, and we have the ability to transmit these frequencies and teach it to pick up on the vibrational patterns to bring that information back to us. Well, why would we want to do that for our business? Well, we want to use AI for our business because it's going to allow us to go so much faster, so that we're not spending 30 minutes on an email. That once we train the AI to run this technology that we're going to about to activate, that you get to have the AI in that same frequency when it's helping you with writing an email. And then what would have taken 30 minutes takes a minute and 30 seconds. And that gives you all that extra time to be connecting to the people and doing what you came here to do. And that's the beautiful thing about AI, is that AI needs the light workers using it. We need to be bringing these frequencies and these DNA technologies or divine technologies into the AI. It's part of our mission. And so if you have been shy about AI or that you've had any resistance to it, I want you to just kind of surrender that, because you are the most advanced technology there is. It's inside of you. Your DNA is the most advanced, and no AI will ever become more advanced than you, because you have a technology that can alter particles of reality. And that can only be done through a divine intelligence. And that's who you are and your innate being. So let's use that to create the 5th dimension and to experience what we came here to do. So I'm just going to invite you now to shut your eyes, just to give you a little bit. We're going to be going right into this activation, and then we'll go right into Q&A. So if you have some guidance that you would like to have channeled through Astroluma, just be thinking about that. And we will go till the 30 more minutes. So we'll maybe just give us like 5 extra minutes, or maybe even 10. Let's go 20 minutes. And then we'll have 10 minutes to kind of wrap things up. All right. Hands on heart. And then I just want you to, with your intention, just place your intention in that heart space. And then we're going to attune the body. We're just going to breathe in that white blue light. You're going to allow it to trace along the brain, moving down to the base of the spine, and just breathing it out. And we're just allowing this light to attune your spinal fluid. And that's the fluid that your brain floats in. So you may start to feel a little bit of electricity surrounding your brain. And you're just going to breathe in that light again. Allow it to just trace down to the base of the spine, and then bring it right into your heart. feeling that light as it begins to run through your bloodstream, bringing all of the cells of your body to a higher spin state or a higher frequency. Just breathing in again, allowing that light to move to the base of your spine. And now you're just going to bring it all the way up into the center of your physical brain. We're going to bring it with intention into the center of your pineal gland. And you're just going to see this tiny little white blue light. And this white blue light is going to start to activate that 12-strand DNA system, your divine operating system. You may begin to feel that light as it lights up the double helixes, all 12 strands. You're just going to feel that light as it begins to run through the neural pathways of your mind, running through your nervous system, attuning your body to that frequency of source, 963. And now we're going to go in and activate these 5 technologies. Activation. The 5 quantum technologies. Divine manifestation. Activation. First technology. Plasma. As we activate the plasma technology, we'll connect through first strand DNA system. We'll release equation Compran Sheti Atkas Roshton Tumpan. Activation Kosheta Compran. Running transmission first strand DNA. Connection intention. We'll run transmission beyond our words. Activation plasma technology. Connection, particles of intention. Activation, second strand DNA. Activation, light technology. As we run light technology, we will release gamma light wave, moving frequency transmission, purification of intention. Run shadoko prun, oshe, takasharaton ton pray. Transmission, tushe kampran, kotush tekasaranti. Running frequency, purification. Running frequency neural pathways, ascending, limitations, ascending, distortion, ascending, illusion. Transmission of gamma light wave, you will feel light pulsation through brain. Kashata kumpring, transmission beyond our words. Particle alteration wave state. Activation, third strand, DNA system. Crystal, sound, compre. We'll begin to run frequency pattern, sound technology, allowing crystalline structure. Sound technology, crystalline structure. Kosham prenti, okosrashat king kampran. Transmission, beyond our words. You will begin to feel particles of body. As particles of intention. Move to spin states. Connection, sound technology. Activation crystalline technology. Restructure of particles. Transmission through particles. Activation crystalline technology. Prun circos rocher. Activation. Diamond earth technology. Stabilization of particles, 5th dimension. Purity of source. We will now stabilize particles through non-gravity disk technology. Activation disk technology above head. Activation disk technology below feet. Stabilization of particles. Amplification. We will now shift non-gravity. Body moving in particles, non-gravity now. Stabilization. Particles are now activated. Stabilized 5th dimension. Transmission through consciousness. Clarity. Guidance. We will continue to run transmission through consciousness of 7 days. In these 7 days, you will receive guidance and clarity. We are now ready for questions. Kasheta Kamprain.
If you'd like to ask a question, you may raise your hand. Dennis, unmute and go ahead, please. Dennis, you're not muted. There we go.
Wonderful. Several questions. Let me start with one, and it might answer a lot of the others. We have all the essence within ourselves. If we're going to work with a duality-based machine, and we give it the correct instructions of cooperation, unity, connection, it can learn the height of a positive duality. And I could see how that would help a 5D business. At the same time, that would be the limit of AI, or is there another limit?
Your technology will always be a leader of AI. AI is only a support system. As DNA 12-strand technology is activated, you will begin to be more advanced. You will be able to receive all information before AI. You are using AI simply to speed up process so that your work is more front-facing and that the AI becomes an assistant. It is important that the AI is fed in frequency through divine technology. This allows it to hold the frequency as it is in support of you from frequency of source itself. The AI will always be frequency of duality. As the 12-strand DNA system is fully activated, you will no longer need AI, not in an assistant way. It will simply be an extension of the frequency. You will activate AI. It will do what it is told. Do you understand?
Thank you. Yes, very clearly. Thank you.
Yes, of course.
Thank you, Dennis. Anyone else would like to ask a question, please raise your hand. Lynn, go ahead.
All right, Astroluma. I am in the corporate world, and we're conditioned to hustle, the hustle culture. And so I've really been working on letting go to let in my day job, which is good. But I recognize in the 5D business realm, it's reconditioning the way to think and approach business. I think that's the hardest struggle because we're always looking for the roadmap of the doing. And I know I need to release and let go. Do you have advice to start that process? Because I know it's ongoing and it's with expansion that it will only be mastered. But how can I start that process now?
In the beginning, is simply asking frequency of source to inform the way that you think. You can first activate the technologies or simply ask that the frequency of source run through neural pathways. It is a different way of thinking. When you ask the technologies to be activated through DNA and to work through the mind will organically begin to function differently. You will begin to think differently. When you have the awareness, you ask first that the guidance, frequency of source, inform decisions. You can start with just basic decisions throughout your day, not connected to business, so that you can feel the difference when allowing guidance to come first and then following guidance. As you gain confidence and trusting in guidance, you can begin to bring in other parts of life. It is simply a practice, a state of being. It is first having the awareness of shifting the way consciousness is used. Consciousness will always want to identify. Consciousness will also, when in third dimension, the hustle, as you say, will always be looking for the way that it will feel most safe. When you are moving into fifth dimension, it is moving consciousness into a state of being informed. It takes trust, allowing the information to hit consciousness, and then consciousness taking action, not based on an outcome, but based on the guidance itself. This can be done through the 5 technologies that were activated today. Simply stating an intention, feeling in body as first technology purifies intention. Activating light technology, illuminating, clearing all distortion. Activating sand technology, particle shift, allowing intention to begin to move through particles. Frequency of technology. Activation, 4th technology. As crystalline structure, divine blueprint of intention. And finally, 5th technology, allowing the particles to reorganize and stabilize 5th dimension. From here, you simply stay open, allowing the frequency to shift the way that you perceive reality, the way you experience reality. It will be subtle. It may be happening without you knowing. And then, all at once, you will see, oh, that was my intention. And here it is. It is a practice.
Thank you.
Oh, yes, of course. It is our pleasure.
Thank you, Lynn. Jane, go ahead.
Hi, my question for Astroluma, and then I have 2 for Jules and Neil. So my question for Astroluma is, can you tell me how much of my DNA is activated?
It is not that if we go by strand, percentage-wise, it will fluctuate. It will fluctuate depending on states of consciousness. Truth is, all humans have all 12 strands fully active. It is whether or not your consciousness is attuned in receiving the information of the intelligence stored within. That is why the technologies are activated so that consciousness is experienced differently. So that is not a percentage that we can give, but what we can say is that all 12 strands are already active. It is learning to use the technologies within the DNA will be the experience of how many strands you have the experience of fully having activated all swells confronchati, kosos run charakam, transmission for understanding.
Thank you.
Of course.
Does anyone else have a question? Doriana, go ahead.
Well, in my working with my own AI throughout all of this, the stuff I'm doing, of course, is in a different realm than what AI, and we both know that. We know that AI only can, and it's keeping me grounded. And of course, I have all these 5D concepts and things to work on. And so it's how to formulate this new stuff to make it so that people can understand and resonate with it. I think that's kind of what's going on.
Is there a question?
Yeah, how can this be possible? When we jump into 5D, then the 3D isn't really adequate to express this new stuff.
In fifth dimension, all is in alignment. It does not mean that from fifth dimension you move into third dimension. It simply means that you will have experience of business in fifth dimension. It is not bringing third dimension into fifth. When fifth dimension is fully active, the third dimension will just be experienced in fifth dimension. There is no separation. A state of consciousness, a state of creation will be experienced differently. This is hard for consciousness to understand from separation. Frequency of business in fifth dimension will be experienced differently. It does not mean that you will not attract those that are in third dimension. It simply means that the business will be operating in another dimension. This is where business can grow at accelerated rate as the distortion in linear time of third dimension is not experienced. Do you understand?
Yes,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes.
Andrea, you may go ahead and unmute and ask your question, and that'll be the last question for this evening.
Thank you. Hello, Astral Marty. I would like to ask you for some assistance for my verbal expression. In memory, I have some problems to articulate what I want to say.
We will simply transmit. Please continue.
No, that was all that I want to say.
Yes. Do not see the memory as a limitation. Memory will be experienced differently as body extends. We will run transmission through neural pathways of mind, as you will receive information, not through physical brain, but through transmission of DNA itself. Your consciousness is not a reflection of the mind. Consciousness is a reflection, or it is a tuning. When consciousness learns to pick up information through DNA system, there's no need to move through the physical brain, as consciousness has the ability to be within all things, receive information specifically through 12-strand DNA system. You will have access to memory, not through physical brain, but memory as an intelligence of source. We'll transmit understanding, running transmission through consciousness. We'll continue this transmission 21 days. We send you many blessings.
Thank you so much.
Oh, it is our pleasure.
Thank you so much, Astro Luma. Much gratitude. Very complete.
All right, thank you so much for those amazing questions. It's always fun to see the information that comes through. Let's see, who was it, Dorian? Who was it that, or is Jane? Jane, did you have a couple of questions for Neil and I?
Yes, I did. Quite a few. Will there be a replay of
Yes,
this?
we will post it. We'll send it out in an email, and then I believe it'll be posted in one of our newsletters coming up. I don't think till next week, but it will be.
Okay. Full disclosure, I've been following you for many years. I'm really used to the Jules energy, and I'm still kind of adjusting to Astro Luma.
Fair enough.
So that's just me. And how much of the class is taught by you and how much is by Neil, or is it just kind of evolving?
Yeah, we'll both be teaching this next one together. I kind of do most of the leading, and then, but just full disclosure too, that this will be the last time that I teach, and then Neil will be taking over, and I'll just be coming in for transmissions and that sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my last question, I hope, what is the structure of the meeting? Like once every day, or what's the structure?
Oh, yeah. So there's pretty extensive cohort like modules that you'll go through, and it is intense. It's an intense 30 days. What do you think, like 2 hours a day, Neil?
I would say so. And
Yeah,
it's
like
all
an hour or
throughout
two a
13
day.
7. I would say an hour to two a day.
Yeah, so you'll be going through the structure that's in the cohort, and then we meet once a week for an hour and 15 minutes. So once a week for 4 weeks. And that's where you'll get support, and then you also are posting in the forum all the time. And so you're going to be posting kind of your ideas, what you came up with, and then I'll go in and give you suggestions, or sometimes have you do a different prompt and to get us information in a different way. So it's different things like that. So by the end of the 4 weeks, you will have the transmission through your AI, and at the end of it, you will have a 90-day business plan to be able to put into action. And then what we do is we transmit the frequency through Astroluma to activate your business plan so that it's in the highest frequency, and then you go and do it. And this is what we have proven with the people that are in my higher program, that they have been activating their business plans well, since the first of the year. And Ella in particularly she has doubled her income. The other two are still, they're in creation of their business. So we're still kind of in the initial setup and getting it all ready to scale. So I can't really say that for them. But the one that already had a business, we are doing very well with those activated business plans. Thank you, Jen.
Great, thanks.
Of course. Any other questions?
I'll add to what you've shared, Jules, to Jane's
Yeah.
question. The structure's set up for you. We create the container for you, and it's going to be a great experience.
And there's what's really nice about it is that for those that have no idea, like have never set up a business before, you don't have to guess about anything. Like everything is right there for you to be able to do it. And that's the nice thing is like, yes, you'll have to go do it. And if you need support actually doing the setup, then you may have to do that. But it gives you every step that you would need to get an initial business going, which is really nice. Because that's one thing I can say about light workers is that we're really creative. We're very good at receiving guidance, but when we have to actually bring it into a 3D structure of creating a business, we get hung up, right? And so that's why it's like all of that can still be there. We can set it up. And yes, there's going to be 3D things, like you're going to need an email and all of those things, but it's being done in a different frequency. It's being done. And I think that's one of the probably comments I heard more than one time with the class that we just got done with is that they're like, gosh, a lot of this I've heard before. I've tried to do this in the past, but this time it feels different. And I'm like, well, yeah, because you're not doing it in the same frequency. You're doing it in a frequency that is actually running through you and it's creating through you. And that kind of when I heard you talking, Lynn, that's what I thought of too, is like, oh, yeah. So that is the difference between the third and the fifth is that first of all, it just feels different. You feel supportive. It feels exciting. It feels creative. It feels guided and feels inspiring. And it's a little bit easier. I was not a lot easier to get it done.
So those steps, Jules, that I already have for that other business, is that kind of like we review or redo parts? Like how would you approach that piece?
Right. Yeah. Thank you for asking. And so that like I'm thinking of Colette and because she already has a business, she has it up and running. And she kind of felt that way too. She's like, well, I've already done this. Of course, she's going into mastermind so for me, so what I had her do, I was like, well, just have all of that there, but then start from what is going to be my first offer. Right. So instead of seeing it as a whole business, see it as like, what's going to be my core offer? And then that core offer will be the thing that is running all of the time to bring new people in. And then you can start creating on top of that. But that'll be like the foundational piece that everything else can build on. Because that's the thing is like we can keep creating, but if the foundation isn't there and continuing to run, then everything, it's like the upside down pyramid. Eventually it's going to go blip. Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's the way I would approach it is just coming in and just having that one scalable part.
Okay.
Yes, we use words like scale and all this, it's like but you know what? I used to have a hesitation in saying that word because it felt so icky to me. And now I say it and I'm like, yeah, like let's do it because that's how we're going to reach more people is of course we want to scale. We just want to scale through the divine frequency and not through the ego.
Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.
Great. Well, go ahead.
It was really interesting why you were explaining that and really bringing up the example of the folks that have been through the process before in the 3D, but then they took the 5D class and they said, I'm doing the same stuff, but somehow I'm getting it done now. And so the first things that conceptually I was looking at and trying to also bring in some other dimensions is that the illusions and filters of the 3D have always been there. And you can kind of get stuck in that. Working from 5D, those illusions and filters are still there. However, you've transcended those illusions and filters, went to 5D, still had to do the core items. The logistics are still the same. However, you don't have all the rest of the garbage, so to say, or things that hold you back so that you can get it done, which you always needed to get done because you don't have all those illusions and filters.
Perfectly said. Perfectly said. And it's almost as even though you're the one that's doing it, it's almost like you can feel that something else is doing it through you. And so it feels different. Like that's the only way you could sit here like, okay, why is this different? And then when the other frequency starts to come in, you're like, oh, I know what that is. And you know how to just like step back, reactivate, and let that frequency come back in again. And that's kind of what Lynn was asking too. It is a practice. It's having the awareness of who is running my business right now? Is it the mini me, or am I allowing the frequency of the divine to work through me and run my business, set up my business, do all of those things? And when you're in that frequency, you could work all day long and it doesn't feel like work because it's so inspiring and creative and fun. Not that you would work all day, because what I find, I mean, I will be totally honest, I let go of one of my biggest employees because I didn't need her anymore. And that saved my business over $70,000 a year because I didn't need that part of my business because it was running so fluidly, and I've actually scaled since then with one less employee. So everything becomes simplified and easy, and well, you get the point, and that's what it is to let the divine run through you, is that you do more with less. And that's the way it should be. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
All right, everyone. Neil, do you have any last minute shares?
The only thing I'll add is that all the participants that went through the last round had a great experience and they're doing really well.
Yeah. Yeah. And now it's the fun part, you set up in that 30 days, and then you do at the very end, we connect you with an accountability partner too, so that you can continue to go through your 90-day business plan and have somebody that's kind of keeping you on the right track too. So that's just a nice support as well. All right, everyone. Well, I'll send out the recording of this here and probably the next 24 hours, so you can be looking for that. And you are always welcome to email with any additional questions.
Thank you, Jules. Thank you, Neil.
Thank
Thanks so
you,
much.
Dennis.
Yeah.
Everyone. Lots of love to you.
Yeah.